It was a scorching summer day. The sun beat down, turning the city into a furnace. I was at a bus stop, sweat clinging to my back. My white pants, a poor choice for such a day, were already starting to look dusty. I spotted a thin sketchbook on the bench and, in my infinite wisdom, decided to use it as a makeshift barrier between my pants and the dirty surface. The bus arrived, a welcome escape from the oppressive heat. I climbed aboard, found a seat and let out a sigh of relief. It was then, in that moment of cool respite, that I realized my mistake. My sketchbook, the one I used for all my drawings and ideas, was gone. Panic surged through me. That sketchbook wasn't just filled with drawings. It was a repository of my thoughts, dreams, and inspirations. Losing it felt like losing a part of myself. I frantically searched my bag, my pockets, anywhere it could have magically migrated to, but it was no use. I had left it on the bench, tucked away beneath me like a forgotten secret. Despair began to set in. The sketchbook was filled with months of work, irreplaceable sketches that I couldn't bear the thought of losing. It felt like a punch to the gut, a sudden void opening up in my chest. There was only one thing to do: go back and look for it. I got off at the next stop, my heart pounding with a mixture of hope and dread. The walk back to the bus stop felt like an eternity, each step heavy with the weight of my mistake. As I approached the stop, I scanned the bench, my eyes desperately searching for any sign of my lost treasure. The bench was empty, except for a lone plastic bag swaying gently in the breeze. My heart sank. It was hopeless. Someone must have picked it up, mistaking it for discarded trash. I trudged towards the bench, ready to accept defeat, when I noticed something peculiar. The plastic bag wasn't empty. It held something rectangular, wrapped carefully within its protective embrace. With trembling hands, I reached for the bag and pulled out its contents. It was my sketchbook. Relief washed over me in a tidal wave, leaving me weak with gratitude. But there was more. The sketchbook wasn't just haphazardly tossed into the bag. It was meticulously wrapped in a sheet of white paper, shielding it from the elements. Someone, a kind stranger who had witnessed my carelessness, had taken the time to protect something they had no obligation to save. They had seen a small, forgotten piece of someone else's life and, instead of ignoring it, had gone out of their way to preserve it. That simple act of kindness, that quiet display of empathy, touched me deeply. It was a poignant reminder that even in the anonymity of a bustling city, small acts of compassion can have a profound impact. The world, I realized, was filled with good people, with hearts big enough to care for strangers and their forgotten dreams. And as I clutched my sketchbook to my chest, a silent promise escaped my lips: to pay it forward, to be a beacon of kindness in a world that desperately needed it. Because sometimes the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact, reminding us that we are not alone, that even on the hottest of days, a glimmer of hope can be found in the most unexpected of places.